Good morning and welcome to this Monday Morning Muses. I'm Pastor Doug Brauner. I'm one of the pastors at Holy Cross Lutheran Church in Colorado Springs, Colorado. And it's good to be with you on December 18th, 2017. Happy birthday to my son Michael. And what a joy you are in my life, and I look forward to spending some time with you. And our son Nathan is coming into town from Washington, D.C. to spend Christmas with us today. I'm looking forward to picking him up at the airport as well and being together as a family. And it's a great time of year, isn't it? It's a great time of year, but it also causes a little bit of stress for us getting everything done. We got a week before Christmas Day today, and it comes very quickly, and it did for me. So a lot to get done, but it'll be a great day. So anyway, I think people at Holy Cross think I'm against being happy. Or maybe I'm just paranoid about it. I don't know. I talk a lot about the difference between joy and happiness. And joy is rooted in grace. In the Greek language, the root for both words is the same, and they're related to each other. And so it's my opinion that joy is rooted in God's grace to us, and it transcends emotion, where happiness is an emotion. But you know, I feel guilty about saying that, so I thought it would be good today to give a little bit of attention to being happy. And it's okay to be happy. I try to say that, but happiness comes and it goes, just like sadness and anger. Those things are part of our life as well. They're emotions, and it's okay to feel happy. I am concerned that we put being happy in front of experiencing joy. And that's kind of what I hit at yesterday in my sermon. Yesterday was Gaudete Sunday, Joy Sunday. For many of us who have Advent wreaths in our churches, we had a rose candle that was lit yesterday and reminding us of the joy that comes in this little baby born for us, as well as the joy of anticipation of Christ coming back again. But I want to talk about happiness and what makes us happy. And so if you Google the question, what makes you happy, you get a lot of different blogs that come up with different things. But there is, in most of those blogs I looked at in preparation for my sermon on Sunday, there's one common theme about what makes us happy, and that's relationships. And it's usually at the top of the list that relationships are a key ingredient of experiencing happiness. And so I haven't worn this hat before. And there's a reason for that being worn, I'm wearing it today, in that this hat was given to me by my mother-in-law, Lillian Nicodemus, a wonderful woman, and she was known for giving kind of goofy gifts. And I'm sure I got this one many years ago for my birthday. I don't think it was a Christmas gift. I think it was a birthday gift. I may be wrong about that. But I don't wear it very much, and I saw it in my closet today as I was thinking about relationships. And I thought, let's wear that hat today, and because my relationship to my mother-in-law was very important to me. She was a crazy, goofy lady who loved life, and I valued my relationship to her. But she'd passed away a few years ago, and I deal with the fact that I don't think I invested enough in that relationship. I didn't sit down and talk with her as much as I could have. When I was on vacation and we go out and visit, because I had such a hard job and so many demands of me, I would, instead of engaging her in conversation, or my father-in-law too, I'd go out and do something different, and not invest my time in that relationship with her. And I regret that. Maybe it's when we get older we find that these kind of things are more valuable to us. And so then I started musing about what is it that gets in the way of me developing relationships with other people. And I know there's a few things, but the one thing that came to my mind immediately was my own insecurities about myself and my life. And okay, so what do I mean by that? Well, life is messy, isn't it? Relationships are messy, and when we start really seriously talking to each other and engaging in those relationships, we find out that we don't always agree with each other, right? that politically we may be on opposite sides of the fence, and so we don't talk about it. We get angry when somebody mentions something about the other side of politics, instead of just engaging, instead of saying, well, why would you be on that side of an issue or vote for that person? We take it personally, and it becomes, in our world today, it's so. You mention a certain political figure, and it's like, people go through the roof. And emotions take over, and not the ability to say, hey, my relationship to you is more valuable than what you think about that person. So relationships are messy. And probably even more serious than politics is our faith issues, that we find out that family members and people close to us may not have the same belief system that we do, and believe the same things about God that we do. And so we just don't engage. But if relationships are what are at the core of making us happy, maybe we need to embrace the fact that these relationships get messy. And instead of taking it personally when somebody says they're for a certain political candidate or that they believe something different than we do, is to engage in that conversation. It doesn't mean we have to agree with them. It doesn't mean that we have to change our mind about anything. But to value that person's relationship above those political views or religious opinions may be more important at that time. I know that sounds kind of maybe a little bit like heresy, especially when it comes to faith issues. I'm not saying that I'm not trying to say that somehow our belief system is of lesser value than a relationship. It's not true. But engaging in relationship is extremely important. I admire friends of mine who love to sit down and talk with people who have different opinions than they do, and to be able to share their own opinions with them, because they value the relationship they have with that person. And I find them to be happier people as a result of that. So many of us have family members coming in for Christmas, or we're going away to a family member's home for Christmas, and maybe it's time for us to turn off the television and to sit down and talk to each other, and to become vulnerable, and to be able to sit down with that person and say verbally, I value my relationship with you, and I want to talk about the important stuff of life and listen to you. And maybe we'll find that relationship then brings us a lot more joy and happiness than we've had before. So I'm not against being happy. I think it's a good thing to be happy. It's great for our health, our mental well-being to be happy. But where do we find what really makes us happy, and what's most valuable to us in the long run? When we think about faith itself, faith is a relationship with God through Jesus Christ. It's a relationship He has established with us and that He values more than anything else. And when we value the relationships we have with others, it reflects how God treats us and what He does for us. So anyway, thanks for being with me on this Monday Morning Muse. I hope that you will muse about this topic throughout your day. This is the last Monday Morning Muse I'm going to do for a little bit. As many of you know, I'm going to have surgery on the 29th of December on my back, and I'm going to be laid up for a while. So I don't know whether the next Monday Morning Muse will be at the end of January or the 1st of February, somewhere in that range. I'm not going to push it, but I will be back, and I look forward to being back with you in my next Monday Morning Muses. So Merry Christmas to everyone, and Happy New Year.